Fantastic. So quantum brings us new cryptography opportunities and threats. What about quantum networks and quantum internet?
I think this is another one where whenever you start to talk about quantum networking, quantum networks, quantum internet, you quickly can get lost in different people talking about different things which really reflect their view about how the sector may evolve. I think it's important to tease out the different things we're talking about. Sometimes when people talk about quantum networking, really all they mean is local interconnects between modules for quantum computers. Sometimes they mean local networking for a local distributed quantum computing approach. But then there's this other type of quantum networking, which is prepare and measure networking. It doesn't necessarily distribute entanglement, but it can be used for certain cryptographic and other applications. For example, the basic prepare and measure forms of QKD. So that sort of quantum-enabled network is a contentious area, because some people would say, well, interesting, but we don't see the commercial value. Other people are saying, look, this really is a commercial add-on as an additional complementary layer of security. And then an aspiration that in the longer term, we really want widespread entanglement-based networking. And it's an interesting area because it sounds like a very tantalizing resource. We're not precisely clear about what we want to do with wide area entanglement-based networking. It might be for wide area distributed quantum computing, which could be an interesting resource multiplier. It could be for enhanced security or enhanced cryptographic protocols such as blind quantum computing, leader election, etc. It could be that it's to enable a new generation of coherently networked quantum sensors. And this notion of what do we mean by that long-term vision? It's often been called the quantum internet. It's called that in the some of the mission and vision statements around the EU quantum flagship. It's called that in the US, the exec summary of the US quantum network strategy document. But it has become in some quarters a more controversial term. Some people have pointed out that it can conjure up an idea that we're going to be using this future quantum network like we use the current internet, and somehow it replaces the current internet, and that's not right. People don't think that's right. We're not going to be doing our social media on this future quantum internet. But the people that do like the term, they tend to hark back to a different tradition. They tend to hark back to, well, at the foundation of the current internet, we really didn't know what it was going to be used for. And look, it was right to pursue that because look at all the things we have used it for. And I think the people that defend the term, they like that interpretation. Certainly it's one that GQI uses. We use it as one of our core scenarios about how the market play out. We don't know that type of wide area distributed entanglement networking will definitely be the future of the sector. But we give the name for that, the quantum internet, for that scenario should it happen. And I think it's really important. Even when you turn up at conferences, you go to a conference in a particular geography at the moment, you tend to get the interpretation of the quantum networking priorities and future that pertain in that area. And some of them will emphasize a direct to entanglement networking approach, particularly in the US, and others. You'll hear a lot of people that are saying in Europe or in Asia, we want to do prepare and measure networks first because there's some value, they would argue, in the short term. And it's a key stepping stone to build up commercial opportunity and revenues to do a longer term entanglement-based networking.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the detailed explanation. That was the GQI update, State of Play. Like, subscribe, follow us, and visit our websites. Fill out the contact form if you want to know more.